Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. Man, y'all already know what time it is. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in every Sunday, every Wednesday at 10:30, and all that love, light, and energy. I hope y'all have all of that for me tonight because it's been an absolute great weekend, great day, and I hope y'all continue to enjoy yours by watching the program tonight. Uh, Shout out to the chat. The chat is in here nice and early. I love it. Remember, y'all stay engaged into the chat. That's how our show continues to grow. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 12,000 subs. So continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. I do pop up throughout the week. So again, make sure you tap into the all notification bell. Also, there's membership portions in on the show. So different memberships do get granted different access. So make sure y'all take advantage of it right now. Uh, what else we got? Got some new music. Been working on some new music. Can't wait to get that to y'all. Again, I'm finding different avenues to get y'all the new music to give y'all a better listening and a better visual experience. And I just hate the traditional format of Apple and of Spotify and how they do us as artists, especially independent artists as well. Also, shout out to our sponsors. Um, our presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Again, that's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. So I hope y'all brought that good energy tonight. Again, shout out to the chat. You already know how we do. Uh, don't be an agent of chaos. Don't be a stain. Stains are people that try to stand out for being negative. Be and have the ability to stand out with being positive, showing love, light, and energy. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We celebrate life culture. Hate has a location. It's just not here. So again, without further ado, let's get the show started. Matter of fact, real quick, again, shout out to the chat in the building. Shout out to Winter in the building. First comment. Y'all kill me with that first comment. Shout out to Shay, second comment. Shout out to King P. Loyalty is everything. You already know King P. Shout out to Ebony. Made it just in time. Love to the podcast. Shout out to Tremont. You're Brooklyn. Okay, you already know I was listening to your Ready to Ready Ready to Live album earlier. Okay, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Shout out to Hazel in the building, Ashley in the chat. You already know. Love to Hazel. Shout out to Hazel. And shout out to Paul. We got Paul in the building. Appreciate you, Paul. You already know how we do. Always holding it down and making sure, you know what I'm saying? Even when I mess up from time to time, Paul be like, nah, this is what you meant. I know what you meant. So shout out to Paul. She always holding it down. So again, thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. All right, y'all, let's get the show started. First segment of the night, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. You go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. First, popular opinion question of the night. And remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. All right, y'all. In today's social media landscape, which is more critical for rappers' success and legacy? Again, in today's social media landscape, which is more critical for a rapper's success and legacy? Number one, raw lyricism and intricate storytelling. Number two, a consistent brand and powerful social media presence. Number three, major commercial success and streaming numbers. Number four, authentic community ties and cultural impact. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, the question is, in today's society and social media, which is more critical for rapper success and legacy? Again, number one, raw lyricism and intricate storytelling. Number two, a consistent brand and powerful social media presence. Number three, major commercial success and streaming numbers. Number four, authentic community ties and cultural impact. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. All of these are great and all of these are very important for artists. Me personally, me being a rapper myself, um, I'm gonna have to go with, because it's like a mix of all, to be honest with you. For me, my go-to has always been raw lyricism and intricate storytelling, having that ability, because in my opinion, talent will always find its way. All the other stuff, major commercial success, streaming numbers, that's important to some degree. I won't say some degree. It's important to it's important, but you, like, to me, that's not stuff that people remember, in my opinion. Authentic community ties and cultural impact is also very important. Um, but talent, to me, you just can't beat the talent. A consistent brand and powerful social media presence is also very big as well, because consistency matters, but also having talent matters as well too. So, me, I'm gonna say lyricism and intricate storytelling. In the chat, a shout out to Patrick in the building. You already know. Got my dog Patrick in the building. What's up, my dude? Lyrics and storytelling for me. Paul went with number two, which is consistent brand and powerful social media presence. I'm t- a lot of people don't realize how important that is. You know what I mean? So you're not wrong when you say that either. Your Chiefs are in a battle tonight versus the Texans, 10-10. Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna win. If we don't, hey man, we don't deserve it. I want to win real bad, but if we don't deserve it. Straight like that. We shouldn't even be in a position where we have to win to get in, which is crazy. So again, in today's social media landscape, which is more critical for a rapper's success and legacy? Again, number one, raw lyricism and intricate storytelling. Number two, a consistent brand and powerful social media presence. Number three, major commercial success and streaming numbers. And number four, authentic community ties and cultural impact. Again, I went with number one. The chat was like a mix. They went with either a raw lyricism and intricate storytelling, or a consistent brand and powerful social media presence. The rest of the world, mind you, over 45,000 people voted on this, went with, at 35%, they went with number two, a consistent brand and powerful social media presence. Again, that is very important. That's what I say. It's a little bit of all of this. It's a little bit of all this, because when you have that consistent brand and media presence, that means that you're dead ass about your music, right? When you have the lyricism and intricate storytelling, the talent speaks for itself. Then when you have the commercial success and the streaming numbers, it makes you feel like, oh, this person is legit. And then, of course, if you have people from your community that could back what you're saying, or could back your play as far as who you are in your character. So it's a little bit all, but we had to pick one. So, in the chat, we got what we got at. Shout out to Patrick. My Irish got jerked today, not making the college football playoffs. Yeah, that's a fact. They took Miami instead. Man. College football playoffs is wild, man. So you just gotta win, man. You just gotta win. You gotta win, and you gotta win your head-to-heads. Pause. That sound crazy, but you just gotta win. You just gotta. But we definitely gonna get into that a little bit later as far as the playoff stuff. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question: favorite 90s TV sitcom couple. Favorite 90s TV sitcom couple. Number one, Dwayne and Whitley from A Different World. Number two, Maxine and Kyle, or Kyle and Maxine from Living Single. Number three, Martin and Gina from Martin. Number four, Jamie Foxx and Fancy from the Jamie Foxx show. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. My Irish, okay. They redact that. They took that down. All right. So again, for me, big fan of all of these shows. But if I had to have a relationship that mirrored any of these relationships right here that we seen on TV, I like the coolness of Jamie Foxx and Fancy. Their relationship was really laid back. It was sexy when it needed to be sexy, but it was laid back. Fancy wasn't full with drama. Martin and Gina was hella loyal. I'm not gonna hold you. Like she that loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Hella loyal. You know what I mean? Kyle and Max, I'm cool. Maxine too petty for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I'm a Cancer. You're not gonna out petty me if I feel up to it. Like I don't like the petty, cause now I feel like I gotta get petty. I don't want to do that in my relationship. Dwayne and Whitley. Whitley was hella fine, but she was also very needy. So out of all of these, to me, I have to go with either Martin and Gina and Jamie and Fancy. I'm gonna have to go with Martin and Gina on this. I'm gonna have to go with Martin and Gina. I'm going with Martin and Gina on this. In the chat, Martin and Gina, no question. Martin and Gina is undefeated. So in the chat, they feeling me in the chat. They agree with me in the chat. Martin and Gina, and then when they argue, like it was a whole lot of passion. You know what I'm saying? Like I never understood as a kid when they argue, they immediately started kissing and getting all hot and bothered. I didn't understand that as a kid. Like, yo, that's so stupid. When you become an adult and you get into like a real argument with like your significant other, so much to the point where you get horny, it's like you don't know where it's coming from, or all that, you know what I'm saying, all that energy, you know what I'm saying, just it kind of gets you horny, not kind of, it gets you hot and bothered, you know what I'm saying. So I understood that as I got older because I went through that personally. So I'm definitely going with Martin and Gina. The chat, y'all going with Martin and Gina. How about the Huxtables, Cosby shows, LOL? I love their relationship, to be honest with you, the Cosby Show's relationship, because obviously they had what, 5 or 6 kids? So obviously Claire's giving it up, you know what I'm saying? She giving it up, you know what I mean? She like, yo, hit the lights, you know what I'm saying? Because she giving it up, you know what I mean? But and Claire was hella fine too, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta go with that little young energy, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to go with Martin and Gina. And then when my boy Martin was trying to find himself, or trying to, you know, get himself right, trying to find the light, you know what I'm saying? Should kill Sunflower, you know what I'm saying? All at the temple, all at the Najee Ramba spot, you know what I mean? Gina held it down, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta go with Gina on this personally. Well, Martin and Gina in favorite TV sitcom couples in the 90s. Again, in the chat went with Martin and Gina. The rest of the world at 63%, mind y'all, over 14,000 people voted on this, went with Martin and Gina. And y'all don't realize how rare it is, especially for some of y'all that be probably watching for your first time, where I agree, the chat agree, and the world agree on the same thing. So that's lit. That's lit. Martin and Gina relationship is forever goated. The only thing I hated about their relationship is when they would do their little breakups. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, but Martin used to do stuff that was like, yo, bro, you could have did that better, bro. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all growing pains as a man. You know what I mean? So again, Martin and Gina undefeated, like I said in the chat. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Hollywood Need to Ask Us. I came up with this segment because Hollywood just don't give us enough fire movies or movie series that we're just interested about. So I got better ideas. So tonight's Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Shout out to my bro Biggs in the building. You already know what's happening, my dude. One of my day ones, one of my bros for real in real life. Shout out to my bro Biggs in the building, aka Messiah. Yo, your son be changing your AKAs and it's bad funny. You like, yo, if I change it, he gonna change it back anyway, which is funny. But shout out to my bro Biggs in the building. Don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100 y'all. It helps with the growth of the show, especially if you already have done it. All right, y'all. So my Hollywood Need to Ask Us for this episode. You know me and my biopics. I love a great biopic, and we have a lot of top tier artists with intriguing stories on and off the stage. So I would love to see a biopic or a biopic series. I'm not picky. The more the story we could get, the better. I feel like at this point in time, this story is well overdue. The R&B sensation group, the Isley Brothers. Oh my God. Why haven't we had our Isley Brothers biopic yet? The Isley Brothers, if I'm not mistaken, started in the 50s. My father used to say it all the time, like, yo, because at the time, R. Kelly was doing his thing, and then he reintroduced Mr. Biggs. And my father was just like, yo, how's he still like making records? He was making records since I was a little kid. I'm like, for real? Like, yo, he was a grown man when I was a little kid. So the Isley Brothers have been out since the 50s. We in 2025, going into 2026. They still do shows. They started off doing doo-wop. Then, obviously as the years went on, you have doo-wop, soul, what was after that? Disco, funk, R&B, like they did it all. They did it all. So there's no way that they've been through this industry, lived the life that they lived as men in this country, and they don't have a story. We need this. We need this for the culture. And people don't realize there's a lot of samples that artists use today that are their samples from back then. So I would love to see Isley Brothers biopic, and the theme of their biopic, in my opinion, should be staying power. Because if they do a concert right now, anywhere, people are going to show up, show out, and show them love. They still do a great show. So again, we have to have this movie. Of course, it'll be rated R. Y'all know me. I gotta have the rated R. I gotta have the real on and off the stage. The actors I would use for this movie, my principal actors I would use: London Brown, Bill Bellamy, Chris Brown, Lawrence Gillard Jr. If y'all don't know who he is, look him up. Grantham Coleman, Michael Beach, the legendary Michael Beach. I'm also going to put Tiana Taylor in this, Hallie Kilgore, Wendell Pierce, and LaToya Luckett. That's my foundational actors for this particular movie of the Isley Brother biopic. And I think this would absolutely be fire. And the director I will use for this is Malcolm D. Lee. His ability to work with ensemble cast and put people in the right spots as far as letting them shine, whether it's a little ad lib, whether it's script, whatever the case may be, he gets people's best on screen. So I would use Malcolm D. Lee for this movie. So I think this would absolutely be a fire movie to go see, and people will show up and show out. They always show up and show out for the Isley Brothers. Shout out to my dog Patrick. Yo, that Diddy documentary on Netflix produced by 50 Cent was crazy, basically saying Diddy unalive Tupac and Biggie. You gotta watch it and talk about it. I'm gonna speak about that in a second. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But make sure y'all tap into. But I think that this will be a fire movie that everybody will see. Again, Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Isley Brothers biopic. So that's my Hollywood Need to Ask Us for this episode. Now, as far as the Diddy documentary, I have to be honest. Will I watch it? I may watch this one. But ever since Diddy has been arrested and incarcerated and going through his stuff, there's been documentaries all over the place, whether it's Tubi, whether it's just on the internet of Diddy. Um, am I surprised that in this new documentary is pointing to Diddy as being the person that was the culprit of them being unalive? No, because they said this in other documentaries past. They said this. They said that Sean Diddy Combs had a relationship with the particular set of Crips in California, and that he paid a gentleman out there. The gentleman took the money, and then somehow, some way, there was a situation where Tupac had his situation with the guy at the mall. No, that his one of Death Row artists had a situation with the guy at the mall, which led to what happened at the boxing game, at Mike Tyson's boxing match, and that's why you seen Tupac walking through like that and stomping dude out. And so, but they linked that to Diddy. So I've seen that particular part before. I've seen that particular part before. This one hit hard. Pause. Yeah, like I said, I may watch it, and I think the only reason why I may watch it, to be honest with you, is because of 50 Cent. 50 Cent, like I said, he's that's my birthday twin. I want to say well, that's my zodiac twin. My birthday is July 18th. I don't think his birthday is July 18th. So that's my zodiac twin. So I know the level of petty when we want to be petty. You know what I'm saying? So I may watch it for that, but I probably won't be surprised about anything. From what I've heard, and what I've heard, I should say, that that Diddy's or one of Diddy's baby mother is getting dragged, and some of the one of the sons is getting dragged. But um, we always shed light that one of Diddy's sons looked like his ex bodyguard, and come to find out, one of his ex bodyguard had a relationship with one of Diddy's um, baby moms. And there's a story that Diddy beat up his baby moms, or one of the baby mothers, really bad. And that could have been the reason. If he did do that, that would lead, if you slept with my friend who happens to be my bodyguard, and you ended up having a child, like, that would make me upset. A beat down, that's too much. You know what I'm saying? But so we've heard this. It's just how they probably crafted it. So I'll take a look at it, because y'all want me to check it out, and because of 50 Cent. 50 Cent is funny. He's funny because when he does stuff, I get it. I understand his level of petty every single time. Every single time, whether it's right or wrong. It doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, moving on to our next one, our must-see segment. Y'all know how I do. I'm going to give y'all 3 must-see movies to tap into. It's Sunday, and, y'all got the rest of the week to tap into these movies. All right, so first must-see movie came out 2003, directed by Ringo Lam. This movie stars Jean-Claude Van Damme, Marine Alton, Robert Lasorda, Lawrence Taylor, the legendary football player Lawrence Taylor, and Michael Bailey Smith. This movie is called In Hell. This is a fire movie, must see. This is about a man trying to get home while he's on the phone with his wife, and she's being attacked, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. I won't spoil it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see In Hell. Second must-see movie came out 1984, directed by Robert Zemeckis. This movie stars Michael Douglas, Catherine Turner, Danny DeVito, Jack Norman, and Holland Taylor. This movie is called Romancing the Stone. Romancing the Stone. A really good movie, quirky, funny, adventurous, a little action. But this movie is about a young lady who happens to be a writer. and she's living her life alone, and she's looking to watch the rest of the movie. Like I said, I won't spoil it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Romancing the Stone. Third and final must-see movie. This is a show, so make sure y'all tap into the show. They actually just finished season 3, and I literally binge watched the whole season 3 in 2 days. It's a fire show. This show is called Tulsa King. If you haven't seen season 3 yet, it's probably the best yet. It's probably the best thus far, but season 3 is absolutely amazing. If you've never seen Tulsa King, who stars Sylvester Stallone, Jay Will, Garrett Hadlin, Frank Gurlow, Neil McDolan, and Donna Delaney. This show is about a mob boss coming out of jail doing 25 years, and you have to watch the show. It's a movie series, and it feels like a movie in the series in itself. That's why I call it movie series. It's a fire must see watch. Again, if you've never seen it before, it's 3 seasons, and you can binge watch it, and you won't be disappointed. So again, y'all make sure y'all tap into these movies. Again, number 1 was In Hell. Number 2, Romancing the Stone, and number 3, Tulsa King season 3. Fire show, must see show. A shout out to Paul. So good. The show Paul, right? Right? The show was popping, right? Good show. Good show. Good show. People don't talk about Sylvester Stallone, his ability to act. Like, he's a really good actor. His ability to make things feel believable and real. And one thing that I love about this show is you don't have Sylvester Stallone doing 20-year-old shit anymore. I'm tired of seeing movies with Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger still running down 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, beating them up. It's like, yo, these guys are older guys. Make this realistic here. Not to say that they can't win a one, you know what I'm saying? But you running and gunning, jumping over chairs and cars, and they not doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? So I love this show, fire show, must see show. A must see movie for you, which I love, is The Devil Wears Prada, starring Meryl Streep. How the deal with a difficult boss, fire show. I've seen that before. I've seen that years ago though. I've seen that years ago. I see it was, and I'm not gonna hold you. That's a movie. All right, y'all ever watched the movie before that was just on your TV? You was feeling lazy, didn't feel like getting up, and for some reason, when you get into the most comfortable spot, either in the bed or on your couch, the remote finds itself on the other side of the damn living room or on the other side of the house. Like, how the hell it get all the way over there? And you so comfortable, you got everything how you have it, and that spot is perfect. And you just don't feel like, so that's how I ended up watching that whole movie. But I know I did that years ago. I haven't seen that in years. There's a part 2 coming, by the way. Okay. That's something I may have to recheck if you're saying it's that good. But I remember when it came out, it was cool. It was like, yeah, it was cool. So I'll take a second gander at that. I'll definitely take a second gander at that. All right, y'all, moving on to must hear. I'm gonna give y'all profile artists, whether it's new or old, whether it's hip hop or R&B, but I'm gonna give y'all that fire. So tonight, profile artist is the artist Eve. Eve got fire music, y'all. Most people, when I bring up Eve, think of Eve as the actress. But Eve was literally a hip hop rapper out here, and she was hardcore with it too. So make sure y'all put these 3 songs on your playlist. She was very versatile as well. So number 1, must have on your playlist by Eve. Get these 3 songs. Number 1, Gangsta Lovin' featuring Alicia Keys. Number 2, Let Me Blow Your Mind featuring Gwen Stefani. And number 3, Love is Blind. Put those 3 songs on your playlist by Eve. Fire, must-have songs, and very versatile. Again, number 1, Gangsta Lovin' featuring Alicia Keys. Number 2, Let Me Blow Your Mind featuring Gwen Stefani. And number 3, Love is Blind. Make sure y'all put those 3 songs on your playlist by Eve. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know, man. We sending people to Turkey, baby. Y'all already know the rules of the game. If they on some BS, we send them to Turkey. It's just that simple. It became an inside joke on the show. People say and do dumb things, and we either send them to Turkey or we don't. You type in T to send them to Turkey. You type it in not to send them to Turkey. So let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. All right, first one of the night. 48-year-old man arrested for pulling a gun out on his barber after getting his hairline pushed back. This is a viral video, and when he did this, the barber, his young son, was sitting in the barbershop while he was doing so. So again, a 48-year-old man in Florida arrested for pulling a gun on a barber after getting his hairline pushed back. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Type in T to send them to Turkey. Type in N not to send them to Turkey. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to my dog Patrick. Don't forget Got a Man by Eve. Eve has an underrated verses in her, bro. Like Eve got songs. Eve got songs, bro. Eve got songs. That's hilarious. That barber incident. The video went viral. It's a viral video, and the dude is like, he's really upset. Like, yo, dude, and he said like, yo, you pushing my line back, bro. And the barber he was very indifferent. He didn't care to make it right. Well, once you push the line back, it ain't nothing you could do more about it than like, that's free 99, right? To keep the integrity of your shop. Nah, he was indifferent. Bro was like, oh, so you not trying to hear my grievances? Went to his car, came back, and waved that thing in his face. You know what I mean? So that's how he was giving up. But in the chat, y'all all sending him to Turkey. All I'm seeing is T's for turkeys. One-way ticket. That's what I'm seeing. Shout out to Biggs. He's saying Turkey. Paul saying Turkey. One way. You gotta go bald after that. See, I like on one end, I kind of feel him though. I kind of feel him, yo. Like, yo, people here that's very sensitive, and people don't react like that for real because you have. Barbers do mess up, right? But people don't react like that unless the barber was already nonchalant. If a barber's already nonchalant and you still giving him a chance and he not paying attention to how you want your stuff, then you have grounds to be upset. Waving the pistol in his face, that's kind of crazy. But it's like, yo, if you wave the pistol in his face, he know you mean business. He know you mean business though. You know what I'm saying? You standing on it. Like, yo. So I can understand him being that upset. Because I would hear that's a sensitive thing, yo. You want it the way you want it. You're paying for the service. Like, as a person that's getting the service, that's paying for the service, you don't understand how the person that's being paid don't listen to how you want your hair. So I understand it on both sides, on that side, I should say. Would I have waved, the 4-4 in the barber's face? Nah, I think my point, I use my words. When they say use your words, Ash, use your words. I can use my words and they'll feel like you got shot for sure. The time you want to spend after the incident is waiting for your hairline to grow back. It's not time in jail. I love that though. I love that. That's a fact. That's a fact. But damn, it's like, what other way? I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I can see it. Do I agree? No, I don't agree. And that's not, I'm not placating to anybody. It's just like I understand a part of that. But because me being from Brooklyn, I've had my share of nonchalant barbers. And I had to tell them, yo, fix it, fix it, or we gonna have a problem. And that's after one of my barbers passed away. Like I grew up at a time where I had a main barber probably from the age of, I'll say like 14, 15, all the way to like my mid 20s. So I was like probably a little spoiled in that way, where he knew how my head, like, yo, shout out and rest in peace to my bro Omar. But after, after he passed away, I'm trying to find my different barbers, and they super nonchalant. It was like, yo, if you don't fix it, yo, I'll blow this spot up. Stop playing with me, dog. Make sure my joint is on point. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it. I, yo, y'all funny in the chat. All right, y'all, moving on to our next synonym turkey or nah, synonym turkey or nah. A Montana State player and coach got into a heated moment after Montana State beats Yale to advance to the FCS quarterfinals. The teammate tries to calm the player down. So there's a viral video where the player is going up to the other team, and it was unclear what was about to happen, whether it was going to be a fight, whether they was trying to embrace, but the game was kind of testy, and the coach was like, yo, come on here. I don't need you fighting. And all in all, the player was going back and forth with the coach. And so much to the point where the teammate tries to get his teammate to be like, yo, that's the coach. Come on here. Like, what are you doing? And his disposition and indifference to the coach, disrespect to the coach, and kind of like pushing back and just giving a whole lot of fighting energy. I'm gonna have to send his ass to Turkey. I don't care. Okay, I do care, but I don't care. I'm kind of old school in the sense, I don't care what sport it is, football, basketball, baseball, whatever. There's a world where players and coaches have to be able to have great communication. But there's also a place that players always defer to the coach. Always, in respect. Always. And I'm talking about just in coach and player relationships, especially when it's in college. When you're in the pros is the pros. And the reason why I say that, mainly because the pros energy is like it's really man to man. A lot of pro teams would choose the player over the coach. So there's a happy medium in how players and coaches do communicate. But when you in college, bro, unless the coach had to do something that's so disgustingly wrong for you to have fighting energy against the coach. I'm just not, I'm not from that elk. I'm from the elk and the tree where even when I had a disagreement with a coach, I'm not going back and forth with him. We're going to figure out what I need to do, even if he's wrong, and I'm just going to do it. I'm not going back and forth with him. I'm not giving him fighting energy. That's crazy. And now that I'm seeing younger players, high school, little league, they having this type of energy that has no place for team sports. We've seen it in on the Netflix series Second Chance You. You had a couple guys on the teams that had like the fighting energy against the coach. And it's like, yo, no matter how stupid or wrong a coach is, fighting energy for them, that's not going to get you nowhere, bro. That shows that you're not coachable. That shows that even if you are a good player and y'all have a disagreement, it still falls on you. It still falls on you. So I just don't like it. It looked terrible. Body language was ass. And for a teammate to have to pull you basically away from a coach and you fighting a teammate, get that guy up out of here. It's college? Yeah, bro, pack your bags, bro. Jump in the portal, bro. We don't got time for none of that here. We don't got time for none of that. That's probably my biggest dream ever. That is my biggest dream ever, is to be a football coach, especially college coach. And I guarantee you, with my type of energy, I won't get that type of energy. Don't even come back into the locker room. Call your parents. You got to transfer, son. You're not going to play here ever again. You giving me fighting energy? Yeah, nah. Look, and the visual of that is terrible. In the playoffs on top, pack him all the way up. I don't care if the kid is nice, and we don't even know if the kid is nice. We don't know his stats or nothing. It doesn't even matter. Get him all the way up out of here. Get him up out of here. It's over. Texans won 20-10. Beat the Chiefs. Hey, man. Hey, we lost. It is what it is. Season is done for the Chiefs. Chiefs is my team through and through, but we play like a sack of shit. We don't deserve to be in nobody's playoffs. We don't deserve it. We got to retool. Pause. We got to retool. So I'm not even mad. I wouldn't say normally be mad because we've been running this shit. You know what I'm saying? We've been title town. But I'm not even mad. I'm actually kind of calm regarding that. I'm sending this player all the way to Turkey for wanting to fight his coach, give his coach fighting energy while playing a team at any time. But this is happening on national TV nonetheless. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. Question. Has the focus on commercial success and streaming numbers killed the art form of lyricism in hip hop? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to my dog Vic in the building. To Crapistan. You said to Crapistan. You stupid. Yeah, my Chiefs. We deserve all that. We deserve all that, man. We look like fried shit, and we don't deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta be better. This is probably what we need for us to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, and to revamp it. So I'm not mad. So again, the question is for first hot topic of the night: has the focus on commercial success and streaming numbers, has that killed the art of lyricism in hip hop? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Don't forget to hit them likes and hit them 100s and them hearts in the chat. That helps with the growth of the show. Me personally, I'm going to say absolutely yes. You see every day people on any social media platform this is what you got to do to be popping as an artist. You got to follow this metric. You got to do these. You got to look at these analytics. And this is the script. You have to do this, then this, then this, then this. And people are so focused on the streaming aspect of it instead of being good. instead of being good, if you focus on your music, the streaming numbers, it doesn't take care of itself because you do have to, there is a method to get the right attention, but talent matters. Talent matters. That's your calling card. Because now when you get the attention, now what? Now what? When your music is great and you're able to get attention, and when people go to the music, now you people can say, damn, this is really good. Now I want to hear more. I'm like that too. There's an artist that I didn't even know about, and I'm like, yo, why didn't I know this artist? Matter of fact, I mentioned them to y'all a couple shows ago. The artist Link, R&B artist. He had an album that came out in 1998. I'm like, 98? What was going on in 98? Well, I didn't know. And I'm like, damn, 98 was such a good year. That's eighth grade. You know, that was the eighth grade prom. You know what I'm saying? That music back then, we talking about R. Kelly, Next. Next had Nice and Slow on the choke. Like that had me in the chokehold. 98. You know what I'm saying? But the whole album was fire. I listened to a couple songs. And I'm like, damn, this is good. Let me listen to a couple more songs. And before I knew it, I had 4 songs on rotation from that one album. That I'm like, play the whole album. And the whole album is on rotation. So having great music is your calling card. Getting streams and commercial success, that matters. Um, and there's a formula, but everybody have a different formula because they present something different as artists. Uh, so I believe that the focus of streaming and the focus on commercial success has killed lyricism, me personally. And I believe people who listen to music, they want lyricism, but they don't. Because I hear a lot of people when they say, yo, when I'm listening to music, I ain't trying to solve no math equations. I'm not trying to get the double entendres, triple entendres. I'm just trying to vibe. So it's like, which one is it? Right? And people have to realize, listeners, we dictate music. Why do you think you have less R&B acts and you have more hip hop acts? Because now hip hop acts could give you more for less, meaning instead of giving you a 5 minute song with substance, three hooks. I'm sorry, verses, the 3 verses of 16 bars apiece, a hook, a bridge, and a couple hooks down the line of that song. Now you get 2 verses, 8 bars apiece, and maybe you might get maybe like 2 3 hooks throughout the song. And that's because people attention span has shortened based on the analytics. So I do believe it has killed the art of lyricism, but great lyricism just never dies in my opinion as a music listener as well too. Shout out to Patrick. I agree. Lyrics are garbage in hip hop. Just saying. Now in hip hop. Vic went from Common to Takashi 6ix9ine. Mace, it's all shallow lyrically. I agree, Vic. One has anything smart or good to say, just rambling garbage. Vic says, yup. Paul, and in some repeat verses. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They hit you with a repeat verse in a heartbeat. Just say it in a different way. You know who used to do repeat verses back in the 90s, but people didn't catch it because he did it in a different way? Old Dirty Bastard. If you listen to Old Dirty Bastard's songs, he would repeat the same first verse. He would just say it a little different. I still go back to my old albums and some repeat verses. Yeah, I mean, uh, overall, to the commercial artists who are mainly commercial artists, I think you have some people that can rap for sure, for sure. but the substance is not sitting. That is also a fact. The substance is definitely not sitting. I like the fact that we have more women that's popping in rap. But the theme of a lot of these women in their music is popping, wet, juicy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Sleep with this dude, that dude. Guys don't want to hear how many dudes you sleep with. Other women don't want to hear how many dudes you sleep with. That like, may you. They want to hear the sexy, but talk about the one guy, your husband, your boyfriend, right? But every song is my lady box is so wet, it's so juicy, it's you know what I'm saying? So uh lyrically crushed it but rehearsed it. And some repeat verses, Little Kim with her dance. Yeah, see Little Kim, everybody knew who she was talking about in them songs. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. You know what I'm saying? But also, Little Kim gave substance. Put your lighters up. She also gave you party records and anthems. Uh, what's the song? Not a song, but she had several songs. But the song with her and Mr. Cheeks. Um, Damn, I can't think. I know that I hear the song in my head. My beamers in my bands, my mans. Keep your head up into the hood. Is damn. What's the name of that song? That song was fire. That song was fire. So it's a lot of. She got a lot of substance in her music as well too. That's what I'm saying. Lyrically, garbage. With the thing. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, because a lot of artists focus on that, mainly because a lot of people who listen to music say they want to vibe. So if you don't hold artists and their integrity to lyricism feet to the fire, then it will give you better lyrical music, in my opinion. But you do also have a lot of fire. I don't say it. There's still some lyrical artists who are fire that y'all just gotta find and tap into. Simple and plain. Not just myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I throw myself in the lyrical anytime we talk about them lyrics. But outside of myself, there's plenty of other artists who make great music and is lyrical at the same time. So I just believe that people have to go listen to what you like, opposed to depending on who's commercial and who's getting the pub and the streaming and the commercial success. Sister Soldier, so I can shake. Yo, Vic, you stupid. Missy through that Spanish. Yo, you stupid. I know you know your sister and Kubo D. The jump off. See, Paul always getting me right. The jump off. Fire song. Little Kim got fire. She got bangers. And like I said, they all versatile records. So, even though she did have some of that, I put this thing on you, but we all knew who she was talking about. You know what I'm saying? We all knew it. But then it's still, even in the space for Little Kim, you had other artists who were versatile. Well, right. You had other artists who are versatile. So you have a Little Kim in the same space of Missy Elliott. You have Missy Elliott in the same space of Left Eye. Left Eye, Lauren Hill, MC Light. Like, so there was versatility in rap. You know what I mean? So that's why I say that as well. Focus Brown. Well, you meant to say Foxy Brown, I think. Oh, you saying Focus, meaning you a jerk. You a jerk. I now know why you said Focus Brown. Cause she had like the little hearing aid problem. I come bearing a cloud suit. Good evening. Oh, we got Washida in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Appreciate you for tapping in. Good evening, Ashley Lovechild. Appreciate you tapping in, Washida. One of my favorite songs was Quiet Storm remix with Little Kim. You see how my eyes closed on Mobb Deep featuring Little Kim on Quiet Storm? She bodied it. bodied it. That all about the Benjamins verses. To me, Little Kim has the most memorable verse on All About the Benjamins, bro. Uh, with the blood clot. On the bumper with the B, and the whole hex on your whole family. Like, come on, like that. Every every time her verse come up, no matter if you man or female, it go crazy every single time. Mariah Carey, ODB, that beat. Yeah, like yo, Little Kim is popping. Little Kim is popping, bro. She's popping. She need her flowers. She don't get her flowers enough. God damn it, Butch, where we go again? I'm trying to tell you, man, yo. So again, I agree with this with the question. Has the focus on commercial success and streaming numbers, has that killed the art of lyricism in hip hop? The chat said yes. I'm saying yes. And yeah, Washida, yeah, she did her thing in the beginning. Sorry for cursing. Uh, nah, we good, Vic. You know what I'm saying? We good. Y'all don't forget that them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. And we continue to grow each and every show. We're a little over 12,000 subscribers. If this is your first time tapping in, we talk about everything here. Hip hop, entertainment, sports, social media, social commentary. We have a good time. We're respectful. And we get passionate, but we still have a good time as well. So make sure you hit them likes and hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I do pop up throughout the week, so hit that all notification bell as well. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Netflix has officially agreed to buying Warner Brothers and HBO, HBO Max, and a few other companies under the Warner Brothers and HBO brand, which also includes um, the entire DC Universe franchise, uh, such as Batman, Game of Thrones, well, Batman, and then of course you have Warner Brothers, HBO, HBO Max with Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, the show Friends, The Big Bang Theory, and the deal is going to cost them $82.7 billion. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Do y'all think that was a great move for Netflix? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Washida, hey, Patrick Torres. I remember you had 1,500. Poor Ashley, do you think Little Kim deserves a life story movie? I do. I do. I do. I do. Yes, I do. I do. Uh, I want to be respectful when I say this. Little Kim is a legend. On and off the stage, she has a story that needs to be told, a perspective that needs to be told. And in this generation, or I'll say this era, needs to hear a Little Kim story, because I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of the female rappers today are babies of Little Kim. It's just messed up. We don't have a more versatile plate of female artists. And honestly, we do have a versatile plate of female artists, but they don't get the pub. They're out there. You have to find them. That's what I'm saying. You cannot rely on gatekeepers anymore to get y'all great music. There's no longer a music video spot. There's no longer a magazine. There's no longer a place to tell us who's hot. You have to find them on the internet. And there are plenty of female artists that doesn't rap about their kitchen box, if y'all get what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? And they have a lot of substance. But there's not a female artist that doesn't have a Little Kim in them now. Whether it's the versatility of Little Kim, having the ability to rap, and being sexy and adding that sexy, that like there's still sort, babies of Little Kim, in my opinion. So she definitely deserves a movie, in my opinion, for sure. Little Kim just destroyed herself with the damn plastic surgery stuff. Yeah, physically, I would agree to that. I would agree to that. Physically, yeah. But see, what I realize, when you see people get a lot of plastic surgery, and I'm not making this for Little Kim, I'm just saying in general. What I realize, most people get plastic surgery for two reasons. One, they really don't like what they see in the mirror. They literally see something different. Again, I'm not saying this towards Little Kim, but she did get plastic surgery. In my opinion, when I was a little boy and that hardcore poster was outside of the physical aspect of her body, when you talk about her face, to me, she was gorgeous naturally. To me. But a lot of people that do indulge in surgery lifestyle really believe that there's something wrong with them. I need to get this done. I need to get that done. They really don't look at what other people see, you know what I mean? And their opinion obviously matters the most because they're the ones that have to accept themselves. And the second reason why most people get a lot of surgery is because they actually like that shit. They actually like the fact that they could go get surgery, and when they finish, they're gonna be a whole new person. Some people actually like that. Like, so, but it to me it all stems from not loving yourself enough to be comfortable with yourself. That's just my opinion. I've never had have I ever had like elective surgery? No, all my surgeries have been sports related. They all been. I've had a chance to do elective surgery one time when I was 12, and y'all probably can't see it, but I had a nasty accident on the way to school, and my tooth went through my entire lip. So they was like, "Yo, you need to get surgery, bro. Your lip is hanging down. It's looking bad, bro." And I was like, "Nah, I'm cool." And you know what I'm saying? And I just, years after years, I was like, "Nah, I'm cool. I don't care if my lip is hanging. It is what it is, bro." You know what I'm saying? Battle scars and all. We out here. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what I believe. But she definitely deserves a biopic. Let me go back up. I missed a lot of y'all comments, by the way. Uh, so Little Kim destroyed herself. So I got that. I've been doing it 30 years. We don't want to hear another lie if she can't be able to tell the true story. They they keep it up. They keep it. Then keep it. Then keep it. Uh, they all end up with the look. Some people age well. Hollywood influenced her to do that. Um, whether it's that true or not, self accountability does matter regarding that. I know I know the industry. If you're not strong mentally, it would break you, and it would have you doing things that you know damn well you shouldn't be doing to yourself. But that's also self accountability as well. Netflix becoming a nah. Come on, Pat. Come on, man. Come on. They going into a lot of sports shows too. They taking over. Uh, oh, you saying Netflix is becoming a beast? I thought for some reason I thought you saying that should be the name of the show. Yeah, Netflix is definitely a superpower when it comes to. See, Netflix understands the power of acquisition. You buy, you destroy the company. We own it. So that's why they paying this type of money, because they know in the next 5 to 10 years they're gonna make all that money on, and they just gonna pivot. So they definitely becoming a beast, but they understand acquisition. Just how in the music business, why there's only 3 major labels left, is because these labels understand the power of acquisition. That's why artists like Prince and artists like Michael Jackson was very important. Michael Jackson like I said before, he's beloved because he did his business differently. He would just acquire the publishing, and as he acquires the publishing, he's basically you basically bankrupting the record label because the record label depends on the pub, right? And that's why record labels was like, yo, come on, Mike, and they would try to send artists to get Mike, and thus force of his cases. Prince, on the other hand, he's not beloved, even though people that love music love Prince. I love Prince, but people that love music love Prince. Prince was on big time TV shows like, yo, it ain't right that my CD's $15 and I only get like $5. Like, how am I sell 1 million records and I make 5 million? That doesn't make sense to me. If I sell 1 million records and it's $15, I should at least be making 12 off my music, because obviously people are buying it because of me, not because of y'all as the label. And that was disrupting the whole order of stuff. So that's why he went from Prince to the artist formerly known as, because he was disrupting the order of business, and he was loud about it. Michael Jackson wasn't loud. He would be like, they want, it's 1 million. Oh, all right, we scooped that. You know what I'm saying? He did his on the sneak, on the low. You know what I'm saying? Ashley, stop. Little Kim came in the game gorgeous. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was the first statement I said. That's the first statement I said. Little Kim been gorgeous. My first introductory to Little Kim was the hardcore poster. And like how I said, outside of her physical aspect, because if y'all know the hardcore poster, she was looking delicious. But in her face, she looked beautiful to me. She was a gorgeous girl. Like, I'm from Brooklyn, so that's a 10 right there. You know what I'm saying? At least a 9. Little chinky eyes, a little cinnamon joint, top tier. But, I mean, they say it in the chat. She did a lot. She did a lot of surgery physically, but still a great artist though. Still a great artist. Little Kim was beautiful back in the day, or having a father to protect you. I flipped over my stupid. Talk about Patrick Torres. I had orphan director. They was young. Yeah, look like Marlon Wayans and white chicks, backdoor shenanigans, her green eyes. Yeah, Little Kim is still a fire artist. I don't want to lose track of what Little Kim is to me. Great artist, legacy artist, iconic artist. She came through greatness and gave us greatness. Anything else is on her. Like, all the decisions that she's made to a physical, whether I feel like she shouldn't have did it, that's not on me to say that, right? She had to accept herself, and that's why she did it, in my opinion, is that she felt like something was wrong with her, or she either liked it. That's the only 2 reasons why people get surgeries like that. So I'm triggered because what happened to these good individuals. I read she had her stomach pumped. Yeah, hey man, most people get their stomach pumped because they're doing a lot of drugs. So again, I don't know if that was the case, and I don't know if that's true. But hey man, if there's documentation, there's probably drugs that was at the head of that. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Streamer Kai Cenat wins Best Streaming Event of the Year, and iShowSpeed wins Best Streamer of the Year, which is well-deserved. Shout out to both iShowSpeed and Kai Cenat for winning those awards at the Streamer Awards. I did see a video where the guests try to cook Kai Cenat with some jokes. The jokes wasn't hitting. Yeah, and Tylil, the other streamer Tylil, he typical Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn gonna be in the house. They're like, yo, what do I say on here? If you're gonna crack jokes, at least be funny. I say that all the time on here. And that's what he said. And the room got a little thin after that. You know what I'm saying? It took the air out the room a little bit. But for real, I Show Speed Streamer of the Year, well deserved. Uh, very entertaining, going from state to state and doing all the athletic stuff. And when he pulls up, it's like a rock star, like the Beatles then came to town, or some, he had like really pandemonium each city he went into. And Kai Cenat, he continues to have these events that are successful. And shout out to both of those young brothers that are making big moves in the media space, in the streaming space. And I'm pretty sure they're going to go into other adventures. But shout out to them, well deserved. And but Kai Cenat also had made mention of something that made me question some things. Being that he's young, I believe Kai Cenat's probably about like 24, 25. Social media is always going to be undefeated. It's either going to work with you or against you. And sometimes it does both at the same time. They don't know whether they want to hate you. They don't know whether they want to like really like mess with you for real. But one thing is for certain. Let your message, and this is not just for Kai Cenat, this is for any and everybody, and you're on social media. Let your message be your message and just tell the truth. That's all. You do that, you have nothing to worry about. Me personally, I don't give up if people agree or disagree with me. The reason being is because what I'm saying needs to be said. This perspective needs to be in the world space, whether you agree with me or not. So me personally, I don't care about a damn cancel. I don't care because my presentation, my foundation is not based on the world agreeing with me. Because I can make a statement and people would condemn me for it. I could say something else and people are like, oh yeah, that's champion this guy. How many times I made all types of statements on this podcast? Well, we 218 episodes in, so I've said all type of stuff. But all the things I said, I've stood on. All the things I said have been a foundation with logic, not feeling based. It's been on logic. And when you stand on those things, the internet becomes a place where you're just telling your truth. We spoke about earlier about your brand being your brand and how important it is for your brand to have messaging, right? So at the end of the day, it can't make you and it can't break you. Whether you win or lose, your message is your message. A lot of people that do podcasting, you hear like a lot of podcasters that saying, oh, this podcast is dying off and that podcast is dying off. And mainly because the mindset of those podcasters is mainly because they feel like they have to say something to get clipped or to have a viral moment. So if they don't have that after a while, then the show feels like it lost its luster. Instead of standing on a real message, instead of standing on something with substance. And when you have that, regardless on whether you have 1,000 people watching your show, 1,000,000, 100K, or just 10 people, your message will always be your message. And it's nothing that nobody could do about that. So hearing Kai Cenat speak on that, mainly on mental health, navigating in this thing on the internet, navigating. You have a lot of people who are bots, and you have people that just crash out, and you have casual people. Like, one thing I love about this era, they do give us analytics. And I was looking at my analytics, and I was very proud that I have a lot of return viewership. I'm like, yo, that's beautiful, right? And then I have the casual, cool, right? And then you have the new, cool, right? But the casual and the new, they would hear one thing and then they would just comment instead of actually listening to your whole statement. At the end of the day, it still don't matter because people are going to say what they want to say at the end of the day. People could agree with you on Tuesday and disagree with you on Thursday and then agree with you again on Saturday. So it don't matter. Stand on your 10 toes. And again, if you do it that way, you don't have to worry about the internet because why? The internet gonna do what the internet does. It's undefeated. You can't fight against the internet. So mental illness is something that has to be addressed always dealing with the internet. Some people don't really like the way they look for real, and it's more like it's more like a thing once they get on the internet and people watching their videos and they talking about the balloon is red. And they were like, yeah, the balloon is red, but how about that hat though? Why that hat looking like that? And some people, when they look at them comments, they be like, damn, my hat do look crazy. I look crazy. So because my hat is looking crazy, what I'm saying, regardless if it's real, the whole message get thrown away. That's a defeatist mindset. So again, as long as you worry about the message and the theme, all the other stuff, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. They're not gonna like your shirt. They're not gonna like your hat. They're not gonna like your jewelry. They're not gonna like this. They're not gonna like that. Like they're not gonna like the way you wear your hair, your mustache, whatever the case may be. Can't if you didn't make me, you can't break me. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. So don't allow comments to harm your mental illness. And as you have viral moments and clips and all these other things that help you become, a better streamer or having that viral moment. And again, this is not directly towards Kai Sanat. This is just for people in the space of dealing with social media and streaming and podcasting. Understanding that space in itself, your message is your message. Your theme is your theme. And let people do what they do on social media. And you can keep your mental health in check. Know who you are before you come on here. And if you know who you are, there's nothing that anybody can say on here that could tell you who you are. I get all types of, y'all, come on. My regulars in here right now, I get all types of trolls. All types of trolls. But the reason why it's so easy for me to deal with it is because I know my reality. And once you know your reality, you don't let the internet define who you are as a person, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm just saying. But it was very prevalent that needed to be said because at the end of the day, it's just something that just, that a lot of people is dealing with. Actual factual, my message is of unity back in the community, NPC. It's called The Web. I have 3 subscribers. Make sure y'all go tap into my boy Vixie, hook him up with some more subscriptions. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my loyals. Show that brother some love, man. Yeah. All right, y'all, moving on to my next hot topic. Well, let me go back to the Netflix thing because I feel like I didn't really touch on the Netflix thing. So Netflix has officially agreed to buy Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers, HBO Max, all these different companies for $82.7 billion. This will shift the space of movies and entertainment because back to the record companies where you have just 3 labels, they pulling this off. And to have DC, to have other franchises like Harry Potter, obviously Batman, that's a part of DC, Game of Thrones. This is they're going to be heavy hitters. They already heavy hitters. So this is going to matter big time. This is going to matter big time. That's why other independent platforms such as Button Snap, such as Tubi, these platforms are necessary. They're necessary because those are the platforms that are free flowing platforms that doesn't have a real agenda base hidden behind the content that's being showed. So yeah, so Netflix, man, I just had to add that on because I feel like I didn't add that one point on while I'm talking about it. You're a podcaster, not just a streamer. Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, bro, I I don't like putting myself in boxes. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person of the people, man. You know, I'm an artist first and foremost. First and foremost. But I wear other hats. I love to podcast. I love the podcast because I have a passion for this. Obviously, I can see that. I have a passion for this. That's why my music is my music because I have a passion for speaking life into the culture. I have a passion for speaking love into the culture. And that translates not just in my music, but also in podcasting. My perspective matters because at the end of the day, it needs to be said, regardless of people agree with it or not. So, uh, streamer, podcaster, I'm definitely a communicator, person of the people at the end of the day. So, but first and foremost, my foundation is a hip hop artist for sure. If people Google me, that's what will probably pop up first is me being a hip hop artist and my albums and all that stuff, which is beautiful. So again, because of that, allows me to podcast for sure. Shout out to Vic. You're legit. You have sponsors. Uh, Washida, yup. Shout out to my dog Tom in the build. Appreciate you for tapping in, my dog. Ashley and chat family, respect. Hope all is well. Stay consistent and healthy. 100%, 200%. Appreciate that, my dog. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Y'all, we've been hitting some major, major numbers on the show. Even in my live stream, the only thing I don't like about my live stream, it doesn't show the actual number of people that be in here because as soon as I go off, they will show me the number on YouTube. And I'm like, why they don't show that in my live? So again, I thank y'all for supporting and hitting, like y'all don't understand how much those likes and those 100s in the chat, it helps with the growth of the show. So since I've utilized YouTube and utilized my platforms, I've gained such a passion for this. It's not even funny. You need a guest, a sidekick. Well, I had one of those before, and it is what it is. So, but things must move forward. It's either you elevate or you fall aside, man. So it is what it is. But as long as I'm giving y'all this message, and I know some people are used to having like guests, on their podcast. They used to that. It's just my format is gonna be this format. But I appreciate the feedback though. I appreciate the feedback regarding that. But you're the first person that said that, in a while, since you know, some we went to the new format. You the first that said that. Uh, Pat, respect and blessings. I watch because you talk about '90s topics. I appreciate that, Vic. Vic. Come on, man. You my dog, man. You my dog, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, what happened to the buddies you used to do the show with? Um, you know, one of them, it is what it is, and the other one is just we sometimes you have them in, you don't have them in. That's all. One is for a reason, and the other one is just sometimes you're just in the flow, and you, it's all in perfect timing. What's your door say? Perfect time, and what I'm saying. Sometimes things are perfect timing. So I definitely watch because most people don't know who the group Houdini was and the great music they used to take, like the great songs Friends and One Love, and definitely The Freaks Come Out at Night. I got you. You are better off alone, in my opinion. I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate that, and love, light, and energy to those brothers. Cause one, like I said, still my dog, still communicate, and it's, you know what I'm saying. It's just the flow of the show. It's nothing other than that. It's just the flow of the show. The other, no words for the other, and it's cool. It's cool. Wish him all the best. Wish him all the best. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. And it's funny that we just spoke about that. Be careful of what you watch, eat. I'm sorry. Be careful what you watch and eat because it has a serious effect on your lifestyle. That's a statement, and for those may take that as a question as well. Be careful what you eat and watch because it has a serious effect on your lifestyle. I really believe that. I really believe that. I had an ex, right? And for some reason, every year, and we was together for a minute, every year when Love and Hip Hop would come on, the Love and the Atlanta Housewives, Miami Housewives, anytime these shows would come on, it kind of mirrored that in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause these shows have seasons, right? So when they not on, our relationship is wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Now, oh, the new season is back, and all that dysfunction was slowly like creep into our relationship. Like, yo, we wasn't arguing about this literally like a month ago. Now we arguing about the dumbest things, and it's petty. And it's like, yo, look at what we're watching. Look at what we're eating, right? Even the foods that we eat. Think about the times that you've ever really felt fearful in your life. Now think about the times of the things that you ate when you felt fearful. So that really means whatever that you ate, if you was in a situation that you was fearful of, whatever that you ate had fear before they died, because you're eating something that's dead, correct? Whether it's pork, regular meat, well, not regular meat, whether it's pork, whether it's beef, whether it's chicken, whether it's turkey, somebody died. And if they had immense fear before they died, and now you cook it up, you ate it, guess what? You are what you eat, right? So eating and watching fear and eating fear only breeds what? So be careful what you eat and what you watch, yo, because at the end of the day, you become what you eat. You become what you watch. Most people love that McDonald's, right? McDonald's is not even real food. So a lot of people make a lot of bad decisions late at night. Ain't nothing open after 12 o'clock but legs, right? And fries. You know what I'm saying? And the golden arches. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's not making great decisions. What you put into your body is going to include delusion. It's not real food. So your delusion to think that something is not real food. They don't even make McDonald's the same with real food anymore. They make it with extracts. Look it up. If y'all don't believe me, look this stuff up. How they make the French fries. How they make if you burn a McDonald's hamburger at like immense heat where it's supposed to melt in seconds, yo, the thing doesn't get like hot. It gets hot, but it doesn't melt. That means it's not real food. Real bread melts. Real cheese melts. Real meat melts. It doesn't melt. It's not real food. It got like this clay extract type of thing. Like it comes in bags, bro. It comes like in sand, like sand type of material. It's not real food. So again, be careful what you eat and what you watch. You are what you eat and you become what you watch. Whether it's dysfunction, whether it's just entertainment, be careful. Be careful. Shout out to Tom, New York. is the mecca of everything, especially the birth of hip hop swag. That is a fact. Shout out to Vic. Watch sugar intake. That's a fact. Ashley, you married? No, I'm not married. I'm not married. I'm not married. But that's my choice. That's my choice. That is my choice. That's why I'm not married. I don't view American style marriages as a form of companionship. Yeah, that's that's the biggest reason why my last relationship ended, because I didn't want to marry her. Um, yeah, and that's a fact. That's a fact. I missed the last comment. Has on the Bachelors of Miami had a face and parents over 1 billion people served. That is a fact. It's a lot of people that eat that McDonald's. It's the little eagles. They're disappearing. I said the little eagles. That's why it's good to eat shark. I become the shark. That's fire. I like that, Patrick. I like that. Pause. Not a good influence on the relationship. What do you mean by that, Rashida? Not a good influence on the relationship. What do you mean by that? Shout out to Tom. I don't think people in my community eat enough vegetable. I have and that's the problem. That's the problem. What you said, Tom. I have a homeboy, right? And every single time I be like, "Yo, I'm about to go eat." He be like, "Let me guess, you about to have vegetables and fish, right?" First of all, don't be guessing what I'm about to eat. First of all, second of all, why is it only in our community we joke on each other or tease each other because we eating properly? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you about to eat veggies? Like this dude about to eat vegetables. Like he bugging. You don't see that big old slab of ribs over there? Like, yo, this dude crazy. Like we only do that in our community, bro. Like a brother want to bust some vegetables. My brother, or one of my bros, I should say, one of my bros, I'm on the phone with him, and he's like, "Yo, if you go to Ash Crib, you may not get a gourmet, you may not get like a gourmet 5-course meal, but you gonna get you some fruit. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have nothing but fruit in that refrigerator at any given time. Fresh honeydew, fresh grapes, bananas, paws, fresh fruits. You know what I'm saying? Cantaloupe, watermelon. Yes, we love watermelon. But fresh fruit. Like, how's that like funny? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with eating fresh? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with eating healthy? Like, yeah, you come to my crib and you get you a nice little salad palette. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? A nice little fruit salad. You know what I'm saying? A good old meal. You know what I'm saying? Real hearty. You know what I'm saying? Only in our culture. You know what I'm saying? If I had Twinkies, cookies, all that in the pantry, oh, that would have been cool, right? But because I got fruits and fish, fresh fish, salmon, vegetables, and yeah, that's what this dude eat. You about to eat that broccoli, huh? Like I'm bugging, like I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like only in our community we do that. Only in our community. And it's crazy. Like my bro said that to his wife. I'm on the phone with him, and something came up about food or whatever. And he's like, "Yo, if you go to Ash Crib, it ain't nothing but fruit in there." You know what I'm saying? At the very worst, you might get some pizza in there, but you know what I'm saying? He gonna have fruit up over there. You know what I'm saying? Like I buy my food for other people to come and eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, only our community, yo. Only our community. Uh You are what you eat. Legs. Oh, Washida, you said legs. Whoa. Oh, you getting you know what I'm saying? A little testy. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we fry everything and eat peach cobbler. I believe you. People in the United States in general don't eat enough veggies, fried Twinkies, purple stuff. Yo, Vic, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. Like you almost cracked me for the night. Pause. Like I almost lost all composure when you said the purple stuff, bro. Because a lot of people that's not from that era don't understand what purple stuff mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's Sunny D. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Sunny Delight. You know what I'm saying? That's a good drink right there. But in our community, we don't want the Sunny D. We couldn't afford the Sunny D. Give me the purple stuff. You know what I'm saying? Give me that purple stuff back there. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, Vic, you gotta chill with the jokes because I almost lost it just now. You know what I'm saying? I was about to spend the next 5 minutes laughing, bro. You are stupid. The FDA is killing us. That's a fact. People don't realize what it takes to pass things through. Like I was telling this one particular girl that I was talking to, and she works in the service industry. And I'm like, yo, in the service industry, at least around COVID time, they would like certain they will still give you a high grade in the service industry as far as how your restaurant is ran if you have a limited amount of rat hairs around in the restaurant space. Now some people say no, that's not right because they have to go through the inspection, this, that, and the third. It's limited. I didn't say it had to be squeaky clean for it to go through, but limited amount would let it go through with the FDA. With the FDA, may not be with the restaurant in itself, but with the FDA. Like for example, when you get stuff like pasta, is the biggest reason why I don't eat pasta unless it's like if you make it by scratch, you can make pasta from scratch in those packets, right? If you look at the FDA, if you look at what their regulation is, they let those pastas go through. What you get at Walmart and all those other stores, if limited amount of rat hairs is in those pasta packs, they still let it go through because it's a limited amount. And their thing is it's a pasta factory, so they can't control the amount of rats that could possibly get in it. When I found that out, I was out of the pasta game from all the restaurants unless I'm making it from scratch. And because I don't make pasta from scratch, I haven't had pasta in like 5 years. And my favorite food is baked macaroni and cheese. So I'm out of the pasta business unless it's made from scratch. So, and that's a fact. Uh, Tom, Ashley, only the USB, only us. My man was tripping because I went to the Jamaican restaurant and got some brown rice and brown rice. What country? Vegetables and tofu, mayonnaise and sandwiches, syrup sandwiches. I grew up on ketchup and mustard sandwiches, y'all. I have to be honest. Hey, we call those wish sandwiches back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I had some meat up on this joint. Peace. I pause. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? You do what you had to do back in the day. That and Elio's Pizza is undefeated for me growing up. Macaroni Wheaties. I'm mad they closed down all the Boston Market restaurant. That used to be my mother's favorite. One of her favorite restaurants was Boston Market. Always. Always. If I'm in the studio somewhere, Ash, before you come get Aaliyah, yo, can you bring me some Boston Market? Like, let me get some of that white, let me get some of that, the mashed potatoes, the best. Like, yo, she's used to love that joint. No Sunny D, uh, or Red Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop is not a very healthy show. It's just entertaining. We shouldn't follow them. They be fronting. Yes, that's a fact. That's not a healthy show to watch. Even for entertainment, that's not a healthy show to watch. Because you are what you watch. You eventually put that into your relationship, that type of dysfunction. Like for real. That's why I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop in almost like a decade. Like, cause I really felt the difference when Love and Hip Hop, when they wasn't on, our relationship was good. But when it came on and we sitting there watching and we just laughing at the dysfunction, and slowly but surely their dysfunction became our dysfunction. Uh, Purposeful, exposure levels. I love that. That's living good. Are you talking about the food, right? You feel me? Only in our culture we joke on each other for eating properly. Ashley, that's why I'm always in my mother's country, Costa Rica, Lemon, Costa Rica, where the coconuts are real and pure pineapples. And that's another one of my other favorite fruits is pineapples. Um, when they're in season. And my absolute favorite is honeydew. Y'all don't understand honeydew when it's in season and it's fresh and juicy. You will suplex your mother for a batch of honeydew. It's that good. Hamburger meat has rat and human hair. I believe it because again, they pass that shit through. We don't know that. We don't know that until we do the research. And I honestly believe that most people wouldn't eat half the stuff that they eat if they did the research. Like even Doritos potato chips. I grew up on Doritos, love Doritos. When I found out the process of how they made Doritos, I was out the Doritos game. I haven't had a Doritos bag in 3 years. When I found that out on that day, I was out of the Doritos game. I haven't even had a bag of chips in years neither. I do the research on stuff before I eat it. I'm telling you, I'm just like that. And once I found out that this is, how they make it is crazy, it's easy for me to be like, yeah, I'm not eating that no more. I'm cool. I'm cool. Love and Hip Hop has only had one artist come out of the show, Cardi B. What the reason why Cardi B is the only artist that came out of there because her agenda was to be an artist. That's why she went on the show. Even when she was dancing, she like, yo, I want to be an artist. I want to be popping. So that's the reason why. Everybody else is there for attention. That's why I don't understand with Love and Hip Hop. Like when you dealing with a serious artist, you cannot come to my studio session and pick a fight with me, pick an argument. I will suplex you. Like that in my real life, that is not real. If I'm in a studio session, you cannot come there and want to have a 5 minute conversation. That's not real. Anybody that pays for their studio sessions, you don't have the time. You don't got 5 or 10 minutes to have a quick conversation about some other dysfunction that's not related to the music that you need to record. That's not real. See what I'm saying? So that the studio just be all that just be background for Love and Hip Hop. Me, yeah, nah, this wouldn't be realistic, man. I would never have an argument at the studio. I'm paying for this session. So I'm not gonna sit there and have some conversation about some off-brand shit. That's a fact. Well, rats and humans here. Excuse me. Damn. Ashley, have you ever had a golden honeydew? It looks like a sand always. It looks like a sun. Costco always has them. I've seen them. I've never had them. I've seen them. I've never had them. I'll try it though. Doritos to me like Mountain Dew sodas. Hell, hell to the no. The chips no more facts. Ashley, it's hard to leave Dominican Republic to leave the Dominican in Puerto Rico, Anthem, Cape Verde, food spots. Well, there's a lot of spots in NYC that Spanish food just be hitting, dog. You know what I'm saying? Especially up in the Bronx, they be having the ill spots. Let's be real. Everything we eat is compromised. Even organic stuff is not truly organic. That's definitely some truth to that, Patrick. But it, just because a lot of the foods is compromised, that don't mean we can't have natural foods. That's my thing. That's my thing. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not the type of guy to me, and this is not. I'm not saying it negatively towards you, but I'm not the type of guy. If I like, I'm not. All right, so bet. I made this analogy before, but I'm trying to find a way how I said it before. It's like eating shit, right? Would you rather eat the shit that the guy had, or the Chinese food, the burgers, or the shit that the guy had, the fruits in the salad, right? Because it's all shit. And that's not a fact. Some things that are natural is just natural. Some things that are natural are just natural. It's just that whether we used to it or not. Like even bananas, right? The real natural bananas have a lot of black seeds in it. So by the time we get like the bananas, they're a little altered a little bit, but it has enough nutritional properties that we benefit more off of than eating shit that's really like the shit. Like what they say in what's the movie? In the damn what's the movie with Clarence Williams the third? Oh man. Oh man, and he plays the devil. He's like, "Oh yeah, I came for the shit, the shit." Tales from the Hood, Tales from the Hood. This shit. Oh yeah, this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we still have to do the research on the foods that we make, and it matters because we can make our own foods from scratch and get enough nutritional properties to eat, be hearty, and not be all messed up. That's why some people like I have friends who are younger than me. They're in their 30s, they're in their 20s. They have an older disposition than myself because of the things that they eat. They drink all the time. And again, I'm not dissing them, but we are what we eat. So if they drink hard, they eat hard, then you're gonna look like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm 41 years old. And a lot of times people think that I'm younger, especially than my friends that are in their 30s. So it does matter what we eat, even if majority of the food that we eat is compromised. With Sheeta, Patrick, you got Patrick. They was cracking up at you, Patrick. The only true natural food is something you grow yourself with no pesticides. That's a fact. So I kind of touched on that. That's a fact. I keep telling people you're eating a fruit. It doesn't have a seed. It's not real. If you're not eating, it's all fruits have seeds. Facts. I don't know what a seedless watermelon is. My watermelons have seeds, black seeds in it. Yes, facts. That's true. Nowadays, Patrick Torres. Yeah, that's a fact. So I didn't even realize you had said that, Patrick. So I've kind of touched on it while you said some of that too. So, but again, there's still a difference though. So don't give yourself an excuse to eat bad food. Like I have a cousin, and I'm like, yo, you know that food is bad for you, right? And he says, yo, we all gonna die for something, bro. That's not. You don't want to die over a candy bar, bro. That has bugs in it, and you just cause it's delicious. Like you cool. Like you don't want to die over no candy bar, and you don't want to die at 50, opposed to the real age you're supposed to die at, bro. Like, come on. You don't want to catch cancer because you can't stop a craving over having the damn Reese's Pieces, bro. Like, so it was kind of like a crazy retort he gave me, referring to my cousin. We have to grow it ourselves. Your health is your true wealth. That's a fact, not money or power. The only thing you can buy with your health. That is a fact. To make sure we have to grow it ourselves. The fruits we eat are being genetically modified to have no seeds nowadays. That's a fact. But they do have the organics, and the organics is the closest thing that we can get. But even like bananas, right? I don't never buy the regular bananas. I always get the organic bananas. But even those bananas we get in stores is also modified, right? So even the organic stuff. So, but and I have to make this more prevalent. There's enough properties that even some of those things that are being modified, that's organic, there's still enough nutritional properties that are better off than having the shit. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful than that as well. And the older we get, the more clean and clearer our gut has to be, because that's where all these cancers are being developed is in your gut. Believe it or not. That's why even myself, I'm practicing more, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I've been practicing more. Um, what they call that? The word escaped me honestly, and I just did a 2 day. Was it 2 or 3? I did a 2 day. I did a 2 day fast where you have to allow your food to really digest. And some foods take 72 hours. Doesn't mean we're supposed to be snacking on this and snacking on that. Don't eat for the next 72 hours. Don't eat or 24 hours. And you'll see the difference in your body and even how you take in your next meal. So just telling y'all what I know, man. Just telling y'all what I know. I like to go to farmers market or what we call hay market, where you get your fruit and vegetables from people who grow their fruit and vegetables. That's his last name. Don't pay more for organic stuff. There's no difference, believe it or not. I was laughing at you, Ashley. You was laughing at me? Why you was laughing at me? I was laughing at you. Why you was laughing at me? Because of my last name? You was laughing because of that. Why you was like? Tell me why you was laughing at me, Washida. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Jason Derulo, artist Jason Derulo, says jokingly but seriously that he's never working with women ever again. Well, again, he didn't say ever, but he did say he's never working with women again after being falsely accused and lied on twice. I don't know if you noticed, but he's falsely accused by one of his assistants or somebody that he worked with that was female, that said that he was sexually having relations with some sort of animal. Uh, and this particular claim came up twice, and he was revealed as not guilty for those claims. And he's just like, yo, he kind of like had it, having that type of energy that he feels like people are trying to set him up to line their own pockets and to basically, take away food, take food off his plate and from his family. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Washida, I'm so tired of those excuses. That's why fresh, tomatic, ginger, clove, garlic, and using herbs like mint leaf, using fresh basil, oregano, and thyme, lemongrass. That's a good remedy right there, Tom. I was so tired of those excuses. So use what excuses? Because I said a lot. I said a lot with Sheeta. So when you say one particular thing, I'm not sure what you were laughing at. That's funny. Where are many new farmers coming out of? Have the organic food we need. We need it. Well, most people that grow their own stuff, that's independent. You're not gonna have like major chains that grow their own stuff like that. The market in itself won't allow it in this country. So you'll find independent that do it. Like I had a friend, um, and his mother used to be so mad at us because we would play basketball, and they built like a garden keeper, and she grew her vegetables fresh from her garden, you know. But some people do it independently. But we're talking about basically the grocery stores as well. Just have to get it at certain places. I get my stuff from Publix. You know what I'm saying? I don't get my shit from Walmart. Like I don't know what happened. Like ever since COVID, Walmart just been lacking with the food quality, especially with fruit. Um, Stop getting fixed. It just takes time to heal from all the hurt we've been through, from the small world we live in. Okay, so many African Americans is taking accountability for themselves and those who are like minds. They are many. Okay. 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 Rashida spitting that. Rashida's spitting that. The only thing, but I get what Rashida's talking about. Only thing I just can't stand terms that this country give us. They give us African American, they give us black, they give us colored, they give us Negro. We none of those things. We're none of those things. It'll take on a different conversation, and I love to talk about this, but we're not 3/5 of a person or a human being. That's why y'all hear me say culture when I refer to us as the culture, because we're not the terms that they give us. And the more we refer ourselves to that, the more we remove ourselves from our true power and lineage to the money in this country. And it's a part of the reason why the wealth gap is so far apart. Is because of the terms that they give us, and it doesn't benefit us. But that's a whole other conversation. But your point was still well said and made, Rashida. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so what do y'all think about Jason Derulo said he'd never work with the women again after being falsely accused twice? Me personally, when I think of the situation, you got to take self-accountability, bro. You got to take accountability. You're a boss. Well, let me not say that. I don't know Jason Derulo personally, but you'll figure that him having the success financially, commercial, business that he's had in this business, in entertainment, you would figure that he would be a person that can control who's around him, whether it's in works, whether it's in collaboration with other companies and people. You get to control the type of energy you have around you. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. I'm not a millionaire, y'all. I'm not a millionaire. Doesn't mean I don't want to be one day, but I'm not a millionaire. But I control who's around me in every capacity, whether it's music, whether it's podcasting, whether it's in business. I control who I want to do business with, who I want to have around me. And if their energy is not conducive to the brand and my mental health, I cut you off. I cut you off. Because at the end of the day, when you allow wrong energy around you in any capacity, whether it's personal, whether it's romantic, whether it's business, you put the power in somebody else's hands to control your future. Even if it's for a moment. Even if it's for a moment. So honestly, I don't want to call it bullshit because, I mean, he trusts people. Sometimes we trust people, and that's also a fact. We trust people, give people chances to be around you, to show and prove. And sometimes people do burn you. That is a fact. We've seen that throughout history. The biggest scandals and the stories that we hear about comes from somebody that was a former friend, somebody that was supposed to be your bro, somebody that was supposed to be like a little sister to you, or whatever the case may be. It comes from somebody like that, from your kids, from your mom, from your dad, from your uncle, from your cousin. Long as it's interesting, people are going to listen. If you're intriguing, people are going to listen. So at the end of the day, you still get to control your circle based on those things. If they show you bullshit, then you can remove them. Now, once you remove them, they will speak negatively on you. It comes with the game, whether it's true or false. Whether it's true or false. But at the end of the day, to say that you'll never work with another woman ever again or again, bro, you got to take some accountability. You got to take some accountability. You control who you can do business with. You could control who you have your personal relationship with. Y'all asked me earlier, was I in a relationship? And I said no. No, y'all asked me, was I married? And I said no. And that was the reason why that relationship ended. Is because I didn't want to get married. I don't believe in the American style way of marriage. It doesn't benefit me as a man. What do I get? That was the question I asked y'all, not to switch subjects. I asked the person, they said they wanted to get married. I said, what do I get? How does it benefit me? I'm very transparent when it comes to relationships, y'all. How does it benefit me? What do I get? And she said, I just love you with all my heart. That sounds beautiful. Ooh, that sounds beautiful. Girl, not so much, but that sounds beautiful. But realistically, I worked really hard. And the day, if there's a day that you wake up and feel like you don't want this anymore, you get to leave with half. You're going to leave with half this foot up your ass. Like, I'm suplex you all that. Nah, we don't do DV over here. But damn, I don't give somebody else to have control over my life. See the theme? Back to the original. Having the control of your life, not allowing other people to dictate your life. And I learned it early. Again, I had my daughter young, and I had a lot of court cases when I was young. And when I was younger, I found myself every other day in court, whether it was criminal court, family court, and there's another court I can't speak on. Whether it's in one of these courts, I found myself having anxiety as a late teenager, not knowing every time I walked in here whether I was going to walk out. And I developed a severe anxiety, and then some way, somehow, I got my bearings and really found a relationship with God. Not necessarily going to church and not trying to be churchy and all this, but finding a relationship in God and understanding that when I walk through these doors, I don't walk alone. If I believe in God and do what I can do, that I can control this. And when I learned that as a late teenager, going into my 20s, those people that I have difference with, their energy changed towards me because I found what I needed to sustain me throughout hard situations, not allowing other people to dictate my situation, not allowing people to control the outcome of my life. So it goes and bodes well to Jason Derulo. You can control what's around you. So obviously all people, all women is not going to, do you dirty in business, bro. You can control the outcome based on the energy that they give you. And if they show they ass, then you get rid of them. It ain't nothing to get rid of somebody. It ain't nothing to do that, especially when you feel like you have a purpose. Your purpose is bigger than people. People come and go out your life. That's why I was speaking about earlier with the whole streamer thing with Kaisanat and iShowSpeed. They're so big in stature, pause, as far as the eyes of social media. That has to come with some sort of mental illness, not illness, but a mental check where it's like they love you 1 second and then they'll dish you the next second. Just by you being yourself, just by you saying something that could be popular or unpopular. So if it doesn't make you, it can't break you. You get to control who's around you. So accountability has to be taken with Jason Derulo regarding this. I understand, but come on, bro. Never again. You got to do a better job at vetting. Got to do a better job at vetting. And also, he has to keep in mind that people that wants to work with him has to make him comfortable. It's not the other way around. They have to make him comfortable. Anybody that has the bag, you have to make them comfortable if you want to work with them. They have the bag. They have the means to do this without you. So if he has that mindset, he'll be fine. But the statement is idiotic. They're coming out with their own establishment for provide worldwide. Me too. I understand Ashley. I usually say so-called. Okay. Yes. Yes. I love that. You are 1,000% correct. I'm also. I'm. It's also affect. It also affects your health. Facts. Wow. Yeah. I remember the first time I had a. Well. Well. I finished that Jason Derulo statement. But going back to the reason why I don't like using the word black and African American and this, that, and the third is because these are words that they give us, right? I remember I was in a barbershop. I was probably like 17 years old, and this dude was in there. And he was speaking from a place I've never heard from, and it was foreign to me. And he kept saying "so-called black man," and I'm like, "Yo, I'm about to snuff him because he calling me so-called black man." Like, and I kind of feel away because I felt like he was trying to test me because I was light skinned. All my life I had the fight. You know what I'm saying? And I could throw these things for real. I grew up boxing. And I'm like, yo, this nigga don't know who he talking to. Like, my barber, like, yo, Ash, don't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see you about to, he don't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill. You know what I'm saying? I told you, I used to be kind of a, you know what I mean? But anyway, but he was about to get pieced up. He was about to get pieced up. My barber seen the look on my face because he kept saying so-called black man. But I wasn't understanding the knowledge that he was bringing to me. He was just saying it without any foundation for myself. So later on, years later, I did my own research and findings. And when I think about that particular incident, it took me back, you know what I'm saying? And then he later clarified that. He was like, yo, I don't mean no disrespect to you. Da da da. I'm not saying it because you light skinned. Da, da. I was like, oh, that's why I thought you were saying it because, like, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, like, yo, we about to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. I told y'all, I wasn't always, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? I got a pass. You know what I'm saying? God working in my life. You know what I'm saying? He worked in my life. You know what I'm saying? I was about to smoke him out. He was smooth. It was going to be quick. It was going to be nice. Quick little two-piece. But he was going to get pieced up real nice. Mind you, he was a little older than me. He was a little older than me. That pieced up. Trust me. Pieced up. Sleep. Anyway, right? Now, and I'm not saying that to brag. This was real. Because my barber, rest in peace to Omar, looked at me and was like, Ash, don't do it. Because I see the look on your face, bro. Anyway, but when he was explaining, like, you're like, yo, we have a history, and our history doesn't start with slavery, this, that, and the third. And then as I got older, it took me on my own journey. And luckily for me, my parents kept a journal of my family tree. So what that means is I not only know who my grandfather is on both sides, I know who my great grandfather is on both sides, both from mom and dad, both from grandpa and grandpa. I know who my great great grandparents are, both mom and dad, both on mom and dad's side. I know who my great 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 grandpa. And the crazy thing is, my grandfather was born in the early 1900s. So if he's born in the early 1900s and we in 2025, so for three men, my grandfather, my father, and myself, we done covered a whole century and then some. That's lineage for your ass. Not even speaking on my great great grandfather and my great great grandfather. So that in itself matters of our lineage. And when he was speaking, it took me on a path later on. So Hollywood is different. Wow. Now that's a fact. That is a fact. But we need to know our lineage, and we need to know that we have the power to have whoever we want around us. Simple and plain. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Sports. A sports investigation. They said sports investigation will be happening on two games. One of the games will be the Cleveland Browns versus the Oakland Raiders. There was an incident in the game where the Browns was up 24-10, and they was on their 30. So what that means is their 30, that they're very close to the end zone. And on the fourth down, they chose to punt it, opposed to kicking the damn field goal, which was very puzzling because they on their 30. So, and it's fourth down, and they're leading the game. So there was no reason for them to punt the ball. It was no benefit. So the sports commission is looking into that game. In the second game, they're looking at the Buffalo University game where the player catches about like a 20-yard catch, and he has a breakaway. And instead of scoring the touchdown, bro goes out of bounds for no reason. His teammate looked at him like, yo, bro, what are you doing? So athletes, y'all better be very careful on these things, because betting and gambling has to be honest. If it's not honest, then you have no system, and that system makes billions of dollars, and they not gonna let y'all fuck this up. They're not gonna let y'all do that. So at the end of the day, they coming. So be very aware and be very careful not to partake in throwing games and doing things to benefit your own self-interest in bets. That's why they don't allow athletes to bet on themselves. They don't let y'all do that because it won't be honest. And if it's not honest, there won't be an industry. If there's no industry, there's no money on. And they love the money on. If you watch the average NFL game, they tell y'all who's hurt. They tell y'all who's hurt for a reason. So y'all get an accurate spin on the bet. They tell y'all this for a reason. Oh, this person might be questionable. This person might be probable. They tell y'all this shit for a reason, because it has to be honest. They tell you, oh, the spread on this team is this. They have to give you the honest take on that, because it's a real industry. If you ever go into places like New Jersey, New Orleans, Vegas, this is where the sports book is at. And when you go in this place, it's huge. And people put up big money. It's big money on the line. They're not going to allow y'all to flub this whole industry up. So I'm glad that they coming for that ass. Pause. For real. Because if somebody is making an honest bet, yo, just play, bro, and let the chips fall where they may lie. It's a bet. But if you're doing it on purpose, then you're taking integrity out of it. Being around toxic people affect your health. That is a fact, that part. Shout out to Ashita, man. Killing it in the chat. Again, don't forget that them likes hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Moving on to my next hot topic. R&B group Blackstreet and B2K have signed a new label deal ahead to bring back R&B. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. R&B groups Blackstreet and B2K have signed label deals to be ahead of bringing back R&B music. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, I mean, I hate it. I hate it. Like, what type of deal do they really need at this point in time? Like, for real. Like, you would think artists of this caliber already have access to a studio. Unless they're signing a deal that will help them promote music, then you don't really need to sign a label deal. You could just go and record the music and then take the music to the label and say, we have this music done. It's fire. We're going to take care of one part of the promotion. We're asking you to take care of a small part of the promotion. So that way you come into it as partners, come into it from a space where you have business leverage, opposed to being artists and getting money to record. And why it matters for B2K and Blackstreet in particular, because realistically, both of these groups are legendary groups. They're legendary groups. Like, regardless if you like the music or not, they're legendary groups. So you mean to tell me that they don't have enough pull to get their own studio time? They can do that. They can do that. You mean to tell me they don't have enough favor in this business where they get features on favors? Where they like, yo, I need this feature from you, and you can make this back in money how I'm making this back in money. You don't need, like, not that you don't need a $10,000, for the features or whatever that they're gonna charge for the feature. But if they really bringing back something, right? To sign that deal, because most people sign deals to get studio time and to get featured artists. It's Blackstreet and B2K. Like, realistically, other artists just want to get on because the music is going to be fire. So they don't need that. They have enough favor to get studio time. They have enough favor to get features. So what else do you need the label for? We have social media. We have the internet. So you mean to tell me Blackstreet and B2K, they don't have enough influence by themselves where they have to depend on the label, when the label now is basically a data company? So what are they paying for? Ads? So you're signing the deal to only get ads? I hate it. I hate it. I love the fact that they're gonna bring out new music because B2K has always gave us great music, always gave us hits. Blackstreet, if y'all don't know who Blackstreet is, I spoke about them on the show prior to and other episodes on featured artists. They a legendary group, fire music. Teddy Riley and the crew always gave us great music. And you got Teddy Riley on your squad. You not, bro. You could get your own studio time. You could get your own features. It's Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley cultivated a whole sound in New Jack Swing. Shit, they made a movie called New Jack City because of New Jack Swing. That's why they came out with the movie, and and of course they put the drug element in it. But New Jack City was based on the music in itself, like the elements of the New Jacks, the vibe, the feeling, the style, and he cultivated that. So I hate it for that aspect alone. I hate it for that aspect alone. I love the fact that they're gonna do new music, and the possibility of it being great is amazing. But the fact that they need to sign a deal to get any type of traction is crazy to me. It's crazy to me, in my opinion. I can understand Blackstreet, but B2K, oh hell no. On the B2K, they are not R&B. Respectfully, I've been to a Blackstreet concert, and there were grown women there. I never I never been to a B2K concert. Those were little kids. Actually, with all due respect, again, all opinions is accepted, bro. All opinions is accepted, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. But again, like for me, the reason why B2K is R&B because their sound and their music was urban based and soul based. Like they didn't do pop songs. That was hip hop and R&B that they did. So um their fan base was kids because they was kids. You know what I'm saying? So but these are grown ass men now, so I'm expected, that fan base kind of grew up with them now. You know what I'm saying? That fan base is damn sure grandmothers right about now. You know what I'm saying? But Blackstreet in itself definitely R&B, but again, a product of R&B and a New Jack. And for most people don't understand, the New Jack is a combination of hip hop and R&B and what's called mental. So it's like a mix of both, but it has a deep rooted soul in that music. Like even for me, when I speak about my music, I always I always describe my music as hip hop soul because it's a lot of soul in my music. It's not just hip hop, like just regular hip hop. Like no, it got soul in that music. I got bars, regardless on any subject that I'm talking about. And New Jack, and with the New Jack sound with Teddy Riley, that R&B, that hip hop, it got that soul with Blackstreet. But even with Blackstreet, they have enough favor to record an album without having the help of the label. They have enough connections in the business that don't need to sign a deal just to get just to get pub. We got the internet. Pub, they got enough. They could, if you could get on any major platform to promote your album, whether it's a radio station, podcasting show, big show. And that's all you need. You got artists that will go up to Kai Sanat streaming live, and that would do more for them than going to Hot Power 105 or Hot 97. You know what I'm saying? So we just live in a different world. And I don't feel like they need it, but they felt like they needed to do that. And it is what it is. But I'm glad that we're getting new music from them. But I just hate the fact that they felt like they had to sign a deal to do it. Ashley, I'm definitely understand what you're saying about the music because you are more of the music guy because you are in the music industry. It's a scam. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. Most artists, especially legacy artists, the reason why they sign deals is because they're cash poor, and this is no disrespect to them. They're cash poor. You live a lifestyle. You're doing shows to pay your bills and to take care, and nothing wrong with that. But when you sign deals that doesn't benefit you, that you could really get on your own, that an independent artist could get on their own, and you sign these deals is because you cash poor. You need you need that $8 grand up front. You need that, especially you dealing with a group, and let's say they give them 100,000 up front. They got to split that 4 or 5 ways depending on how many people was in the group, plus lawyer fees. Now, if you have independent lawyers, then that's separate lawyer fees. If y'all just got one lawyer, then that's one big fee. Oh, management. Oh, so that's what I'm saying. It's like it's when you have legacy artists like this, if these deals are not state of the art, then it's not beneficial. But hey, it is what it is. We get great music. I just really hope and wish that our great artists really understands the business and not just say they understand it, but exercise it. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to them. Like I said, I hope they do a bang up job with the music. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. College football picks is in. NFL picks is down. I didn't write none of my NFL scores down. NFL picks is in. My pick 6 is in. So for week 15 college football, first game I called was number 25. I'm sorry, Troy versus number 25, James Madison. I said James Madison would win. They did 31-14. Very good game though. Next game I called number 11 BYU versus number 4 Texas Tech. I said Texas Tech will win this game. They did 34-7 in a very convincing fashion. Next game I called was 24 North Texas versus number 20 Tulane. I said North Texas will win in the upset. They did not. They lost 34-21. Still a very good game. Next game I called number 3 Georgia versus number 9 Bama. I said Georgia will win in a rematch, and they did 28-7. Alabama could not do nothing against Georgia in this championship. Georgia was all over that ass. Pause. It was all over them, and it showed. Next game I called Duke versus number 17 Virginia. I said Virginia will win this game. They did not. They lost 27-20 in overtime. Next game I called was number 2 Indiana versus number 1 Ohio State. I said Indiana will win this game, and they did 13-10 in an upset to win in the Big Ten title. So that was my pick 6 for college football this week, and this was championship week too. So that was my pick 6 for that. Let me look up this NFL. So I'm mad I didn't write none of the scores down. So my pick 6, the first game I called was the Titans versus the Browns. I said the Browns will win, and they lost. Was the score? And I watched that game too. I was glued to that game. What's the score? I hate when it does that. It will show me like 6 games, and it will show me the rest of the games. Show me the rest of the games. I'm about to crash out. I'm about to crash out, y'all. It will show me like 6 games, but don't show me the rest of the scores. All right, so well, the Titans won. They won 31-29, beating the Browns. That game was very interesting. I will say that. The reason why I went with the Browns, obviously, their defense is outstanding, and I really believe in Shador Sanders. And he was playing against the Titans. The Titans been 1-11. They've been terrible. Cam Ward is a talent, but he hasn't looked great all year long. And they just been struggling. So I just thought Cleveland was just a better team. Cleveland should have won this game. Kevin Stefanski, and I made a clip earlier, an independent clip earlier, he needs to be fired. These decisions that he's making in between the game, in game situations, down and distance, whether it's 2-point conversions, special teams, special third down, special fourth down, it feels very self-sabotage. It feels very investigation must happen, because there's no way that some of these decisions are being made in these particular spots. Shador Sanders had an outstanding game. I believe Shador Sanders threw for 364 yards. He's the first rookie in Browns history to throw over 300 yards. And I believe he's the first rookie all year long to throw for 300 yards. And he threw for, 3 touchdown passes, and he ran in the other. You have your quarterback for the future. But for this game in particular, the special teams, the guy that's the punt returner, oh my God. I hold my breath every single time he returns punts. Oh my God. Every time he touches the ball, I hold my breath, because he has moves, he has speed, but once people put a hit on him, oh Lord, that was, he's coughing it up better than any type of cold that you could have. The defense didn't defend the run very well because they were so worried about getting to Cam Ward. None of the guys on the defensive front adjusted themselves to playing the run. And if they was able to do that, this would have been a completely different game from the defensive aspect. But offensively, Shador's cooking. You get to the goal line, and then you try to do a 2-point conversion where it wasn't necessary at the time. Kick the field goal, bro. Kick the field goal. So now when you score again, you have to go for the 2-point conversion, and then you still go Wildcat. And you try to do a double reverse pass. You had a better live and die moment with Shador, putting it in his hands and letting him work his magic. Obviously, that receiving core has to improve. There's too many times in that game, in the Titans game that they played today, where the announcer said, yo, Shador can't find nobody open. He's looking, and a lot of people would give them same lazy narratives. Oh, he holds the ball too long. He holds the ball too long. When people say they hold the ball too long, it's assuming that somebody's open. When a quarterback holds the ball because nobody's open, he's not holding the ball. He's buying time. He's extending the play. He doesn't need to be Lamar Jackson to extend plays. Obviously, was showed today. And matter of fact, Lamar Jackson is probably one out of maybe like 3 players in the NFL that could control the game with their legs. Maybe, I'll say 1 out of 5. There's only a handful of quarterbacks that can actually control the game with their legs. Everybody else is foundationally, athletically enough to extend plays in the run and do this, that, and the third, and Shador is one of them. Does he run 4.2 speed? No, he doesn't need to. But he broke enough tackles and he ran it in. He's extending plays because guys are not open all the time. So that's another thing. And these calls that Kevin Stefanski is making is criminal. He has to be under investigation, bro. Because, again, when they say, oh, he's a 2-time coach of the year, so what? So what? Rappers have bad albums, don't they? Actors have bad movies, don't they? So what have you done for me lately, Kev? These calls is unforgettable. And the type of team he had this year on the defensive side, you just throwing a whole year. You throwing a whole year because uh, 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 just you don't want to get out your own way. Offense can't produce no type of yards, but this guy is not ready. But in his third start, throws for over 300 yards. So I can't imagine if he got reps in training camp, if he's been playing along this time, and what he would look like right now. I mean, everything happens when it's supposed to happen, but damn, everything don't happen when it's supposed to happen when your players is cooking and you take them out thinking you're the smartest guy in the room. You got to make adjustments, bro. None of the guys that are coming into the game who are backups looks ready. For Shador, it was like a thing because he's the quarterback. But when you have your backup offensive line, your backup corners or receivers coming in, none of these dudes ever look ready. Why are they not ready, Kev? Why? The guy got to go. And if he doesn't get fired sometime this week, and if I was the management, he would have got fired today. But if he doesn't get fired sometime this week, then this lets me know that the management is culpable for all this shit. They allowing this to happen. They're basically giving Kevin Stefanski the script. Be like, yeah, don't worry about nothing. You ain't gonna get in trouble. You cool. You good. This is what lets me know. So, shout out to Shador. Great game. And I love the fact that the players who are playing, they're playing hard for him. And mind you, they're not a perfect team. So, if the Cleveland Browns is going to do Cleveland Brown things in this year's draft by taking another quarterback, please trade Shador. Please trade 12. Please. If y'all going to be Cleveland Browns and do Cleveland Brown things, trade 12. Because quiet as kept, if they build with Shador, this year, they probably have had one of the best draft classes. I don't want to say ever because ever is still remain to be seen, but they definitely had the best draft class this year. When you look at when you look at Simpson, the running back, you look at Jenkins, you look at Mason Graham, obviously Shador, the linebacker kid, Swishinger, I probably teared his name up, but that dude is nice. Fannin, the tight end, man, he be balling. So if they build around Shador, you already have a rock solid defense, man. They will be on the road to success very fast. If they take the best player available with their very first pick, and in their second pick, take a guy like, take an offensive lineman, and in the second round, take them a bona fide receiver, because you could get yourself a bona fide receiver in that second round. Cleveland will be, it will go up. But if Cleveland Browns going to do Cleveland Browns things, because if I'm the Cleveland Browns and I got my first pick coming up, I'm taking Caleb Downs from Ohio State. And I know how I feel about Ohio State. Can't stand Ohio State. But Caleb Downs is the truth. I'm taking him with my first pick. Second pick, I got another pick in the first round. I'm getting an offensive lineman. The next pick after that, I'm getting a receiver in the second round. We're going to see. Next game I called Commanders versus the Vikings. I took the Commanders. The Commanders got their doors blown off of them today. They lost 26. No, I'm sorry. That's a different game. They lost 31-0. 31-0. Jaden is fighting some injuries, man. And I wish him all the best. But the Vikings, they was all over them. Next game I call Steelers versus the Ravens. I said the Ravens will win this game. Steelers won. Steelers won 27-22. Next game I call Colts versus the Jags. I said the Colts will win this game. They got blown out 36-19. And the next game I called Bears versus the Packers. I said the Packers will win this game. I didn't see the end of that game. Who won that game? I seen the first three quarters, and the Packers won 28-31. So that's my pick six for the NFL and college football for both week 14 and week 15, college football and NFL. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Let me go to the chat. Coaching lost that game for the Browns. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. That is a fact. Let me hold up. Tom, Ohio State, goddamn. Uh, butt hands for them playing easy schedule in the beginning of the season. Indiana was not playing. Yeah, Indiana was on it. That's a very resilient team. They could actually win the national championship. Uh, he needs to be fired. You talking about Kevin Stefanski? Yes, he needs to be fired. You said that like he was pissed off, like you was pissed off. I'm saying though, he like I just believe the sabotage is real, man. Like it just don't make sense to me. Like, you know what type of boost I would have brought to that team. He had 300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns total, and they win the game. And he was the fifth, and he was quarterback took it in the 5th round. No other quarterback had the game that Shador had all season long, and they had all the reps. Do you know what type of narrative that it would have took? It's taking the narrative by itself. Now, can you imagine if they win some games? Can you imagine if Shador breaks even and helps the Browns win at least 3 games before the end of the year? That's going to be big time because Cam Ward only won 2 games so far. Tyler Shuck, I believe, won 1 game. The kid on the Giants, I believe, won 1 game. And these are all first-round quarterbacks. So this is going to take on a whole nother thing in itself if Shador is able to win games on top of that. So, because it don't make sense. People that played football growing up, like, understand these situations, and you like, why they do that? Like you ever watch a basketball game and like you see a fast break and guys go for the layup. They're gonna go for the layup, right? Most guys don't, on a fast break, they'll run to the 3-point line just to jack it up. Or at least, back in the day. Now you might see that. But back in the day, if you seen the guy get a fast break and he stop at the 3-point line and shoot it, and be like, yo, bro, yeah. Come enjoy this nice little seat on this cold slab, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. I am kind of tight though. I ain't gonna front. I am kind of tight. They trying to sabotage my boy. All right, y'all. Moving on to my next segment, my Keep the Lie Alive segment. So my Keep the Lie Alive for this episode, we spoke on it earlier, and it's funny how it's been the theme of the show. Nobody life is perfect. Nobody life is perfect. But we have the power to design our lifestyle. I find it quite interesting. And we just spoke about Shador Sanders. But his father, Deion Sanders, is very polarizing as an athlete and as a person, mainly because what he does, it builds so much love and hate on both sides of the ball, on the ball, just based on what he does and what he says. And you have a lot of people trying to critique that. Be like, yeah, he needs to quit. He needs to, leave this place and go coach Shador. He needs to go find Travis and coach. He needs to do this. But we live in a world where people are so quick to judge instead of taking what they see from others and using it in their own lifestyle. They say that a wise man learns from other people and a fool doesn't learn. And Coach Sanders just hired a new offensive coordinator at Colorado. And that's gotten a lot of people mad because he's one of the best coordinators in college football right now. And this is going to help Coach Sanders continue to build Colorado. And it's still a lot of vitriol. But my question to the people that is so quick to throw this out and not learn from other people's mistakes or just their lifestyle, and not understanding that life is an ever-learning situation. And you have the power to design your own life. But most people that's talking is not even in control of their own life. Who's the head coach in your life? Who's the offensive coordinator in your life? Who's the DC in your life? So it's funny when you have all these people that give you all this vitriol just from living and being, making mistakes and living life. And they say, no, you need to put this person in your life. No, you need to put that person in your life. And it comes from people that don't even know how to simulate the right people in their own life. They're not even centered. They don't even have a relationship with God. They don't even have a relationship with a higher power. And you're trying to tell somebody what they need to do with their life, but who's the head coach of yours? You obviously play for your school. You're the school of your name, right? But who's the offensive coordinator in yours? Who's the defensive coordinator in yours? Who keeps you safe? Who helps you make money moves? Who helps you make the right decisions and what you watch and what you eat? See how it's been a theme in the show? Who is the gatekeeper for you making the right decisions and for you to be the best version of yourself? I just said it earlier. People make fun of me. Some of my friends, they make fun of me because I eat vegetables and fruit. I don't engage in watching certain programming anymore because it's programming. My daughter, she always kill me for that. She was like, Dad, stop saying programming. It's TV shows. No, it's programming. They programming you. It's a program. Who's the head coach in your life? Who's the offensive coordinator in yours? Who's the defensive coordinator in your life? So you can give it. You can give it. But can you live your own life, make mistakes, and improve your life? Are you centered with a higher power to understand that you're going to make mistakes and it's more so what you learn from it and how you overcome it? Because life be lifing. Life be life and life will kick your ass. The bills, the stress of always performing, and it comes up every single day, every single month, same time. Verizon be treating me like they got a drug problem. After I pay my bill, they send me a notice saying, thank you for paying the bill, but we're going to be billing you in 4 weeks. I notice. Then I get another thing from Verizon, like, hey, just letting you know we're going to bill you in 3 weeks. I notice. They be treating me like they got a whole drug problem. You're going to get your money every month on time. Yes. So again, you have the power to control your life. You have the power to design your life, like how we spoke about Jason Derulo. It's been a common theme all episode. So that's my keep the lie alive for this episode, is that nobody is perfect. Nobody life is perfect. You have the power to design your lifestyle. Have a center with the higher power. Learn who's the head coach in your life, the offensive coordinator in your life, and the DC in your life. And that's my Keep the Lie Alive for this episode. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all been amazing as always, man. Y'all been amazing as always. If y'all got questions, random questions, y'all can ask right now. But y'all been amazing as always. Hit them 100s and hit them hearts in the chat. It helps with the growth of the show. Again, we on the road to 20,000 subscribers, y'all. We just got over a little bit over 12,000 subscribers. So continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. I do pop up throughout the week. I do go live. So make sure you hit that all notification bell. Also take advantage of the membership portions of the page. Different memberships do get granted different access. We also have a store where you can get fly and dope merchandise such as, you know, the hats, t-shirts, and all that. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you put in the promo code Brothers Pod, again Brothers Pod, and get yourself 10% off on all merchandise. Like I said, links is in the bio to the store. Also, shout out to the sponsors of the show, OUV Records and Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Also, y'all be on the lookout. I will be bringing back the Overstand podcast as well to add to Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast back in 2026. So be on the lookout for that. I got some fun and great guests coming up for that particular podcast. Also, I'm going to be starting a third podcast called Ask the GM. That's going to be very sports based, and I'm going to be wearing the hat as a GM, and I'm going to be speaking on sports, and I'm going to be a little bit more unhinged regarding the sports world. But it's still going to be a fun conversation, adding that as well for 2026. Also, some new music. I wish I can get this new music to y'all tomorrow. But like I told y'all, because of the new updates with Apple Music, Spotify, I don't like the way they do us as artists. So I'm going to find a different way to get y'all this music and give y'all a better listening experience and give y'all a better visual experience to the albums. Been doing my research, and I say, yo, what do most people want with albums, right? When you're streaming albums, and a lot of people have told me, like, yo, we just want to see what was the creative force on creating the song. Oh, that's easy. That's easy, because I do my visuals first, then I create songs. I'm a visual person, so so I can't wait to do that as well. Have that ready for y'all. Also, still working on the comics and the animation. Y'all see it right here. Our copywritten Mojo, the Mojo universe. It's a series that's going to be based from hip hop, but it's also going to be world based in the superhero world. But hip hop is a foundation, but it's going to be talking about all worlds. So it's the Mojo universe, and this is my character. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got a copy written, you know what I mean? So I could talk about it a little bit more in depth now. Also, we have the special episode coming up for December 31st, our New Year's episode. We're going to actually have a New Year's episode, New Year's award episode. So we're going to be giving out awards for the different categories and things that was going on throughout the year. That's going to be super fun. And we're also going to have a subathon of such on that on the 31st. The goal is 25 new members. 25 new members is going to be the goal for. No, it's 26. 26 is the new goal because it's 2026. So 26 is the goal for that subathon New Year's Awards episode, getting 26 gifted members. Yeah, so that's going to be coming up for that episode, and that's going to be real fun. I can't wait to do that. I'm putting the sauce on that episode already as we speak. That's going to be super duper fun. Shout out to my dog Patrick. My wife is my head coach. I love that. You know what I'm saying? She the head coach. Like, yo, coach, put me in, coach. You know what I'm saying? I love that. You know what I'm saying? By the way, no trolls tonight. Did you notice? Yeah, that's a fact, bro. I appreciate that. Yo, on your job, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you. That was much needed. Thank you. Need to show you. Need to show. You should come up with the top 5 best Christmas movies. I like that. I'll probably put that on the list, being that you said it. I might put it on the list. But that New Year's Eve show gonna be real fun. It's gonna be real fun because we're gonna have the best of this year and all that type of stuff. It's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be real fun. And yeah, so that's gonna. I can't wait. I can't wait for that episode. That's gonna be dope. But y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Shout out to the chat. The chat, y'all been amazing all night long. Again, y'all don't understand that they don't show how many people that's really in my chat, and it's kind of frustrating. But it is what it is. But I thank y'all for supporting. Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to Rashida. I'm not gonna say everybody, but I'm gonna shout out to Tom. Hit them likes and hit the 100s as well. Shout out to King P. Shout out to Vic. Shout out to, I did say Washida. I believe I said Washida. Shout out to, I definitely said Patrick. I guess I'm not going to say everybody. We got, who that? Yeah. Shout out to Biggs, my dog Biggs. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Paul in the building. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, tapping in. Again, if this is your first time tapping in, we're on every Sunday and every Wednesday at 10:30. Every Sunday and every Wednesday at 10:30. And again, y'all, I must say this before we get out of here. Don't be an agent of chaos. Don't be a stain. Don't stand out for being negative. Stand out for being positive. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We celebrate life culture. Hate has a location. It's just not here. Y'all already know how I feel, and it's all love. And I'll see y'all next time this Wednesday at 10:30. And don't forget to tap into those videos. Got a whole bunch of rewatchable videos right now on the channel. And it's love. I'm out.